At pick 15, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their draft was all over the place for us. It was positive and it was negative, and very similar to Detroit's, which I think is one more after this. We love the Anton Harrison pick, especially with the news that broke late about Jawan Taylor possibly getting suspended.
Cam Robinson.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, Cam Robinson. But either way, Harrison could play right away. He can play both tackle spots, right?
Oh, yeah, you can convert him if you want, but it sounds – well, they still have Walker Little, who I'm assuming they're going to kick to the right, so they'll probably keep Harrison left. And, I mean, I love this fit a lot for Harrison. People were saying he was a hard person to scout due to the RPO nature of the Oklahoma offense. I didn't really find it that difficult. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but Harrison, I mean – with Lawrence and Etienne and everything that they've brought in and the addition of Ridley, this team is going to be extremely scary, and Harrison is going to anchor that line this year.
Absolutely. Brenton Strange in the second round. Thought it was a little high for him because he was our sleeper, one of our two sleeper tight ends. Strange is a great run blocker, has a lot of untapped receiving potential, and we imagine he'll play in line if they ever do that because Ingram is not a blocker whatsoever. Round 3, hate the pick. Tank Bigsby was our worst rated running back, I believe, of everyone we scouted.
I think so.
There's like weird fans of Bigsby, which is fine. Like everyone's opinion is subjective, including ours. But it felt like this was 3 rounds early for Bigsby. Now, profile-wise, he should be a great pairing with Travis Etienne. But is he that great that he's going to be better than what Snoop Connor would offer? In our opinion, no. Now, we could be wrong, but I just don't see it. And then their picks kind of get questionable for 3 in a row. Ventrell Miller, linebacker is not a need for them unless, like Jack noted when we were talking before, unless their young guys just aren't developing.
Yeah, so Miller was one I had heard a lot of buzz around for the last few weeks, and I really did want to look at him. Didn't really get a chance to. But, like, for them to take a lot, like 4th round isn't super early, but for them in particular to take a linebacker this early, they paid Foyesade. I can't imagine he's the problem. But like the 2 young guys they took last year, we thought them taking 2 last year was kind of ridiculous to start. But Lloyd was one that I thought had effort issues and one that didn't really seem to be all for stopping the run. And I know he had I think he had over 100 tackles this year, but it really did sound like towards the end of the year, his playing time started to get cut. And I can only imagine what, if it was effort, if it was just they didn't like his ability to take on blocks, literally anything that I didn't like about him. Muma was another one, except he was quite the opposite. He can play early downs and struggled a little bit in space. But, I mean, that pick to me, if I was a Jags fan, is completely worrisome about last year's picks.
Yeah, and even though Lloyd got his snaps cut, Chad Buma didn't do anything either. So it's not like it was even for that. But they started the rebound after a couple questionable picks. Antonio Johnson is great value in the 5th.
Yeah, Johnson never thought, just strictly on prospects that get taken for the upside of their size. Johnson is 198 at 6'2". He has the frame to fill out, the frame to be an extremely bruising safety, but he doesn't show it on tape. He is very passive-ish against the run with some inconsistencies in coverage, but the Jaguars have enough personnel to where he'll sit and develop, and hopefully he'll be a stud in a year or 2.
And that's the same thing with Parker Washington. He was taken in the 6th. He shouldn't have been there. He was a day 2 receiver on talent. Very similar. We ranked him we comped him to LaVisca Chenault light. He's a very similar play style to him, and even like Debo, a guy that can play out of the backfield. He's thickly built. He's got decent athleticism. He's very hard to tackle, very elusive. Would have loved to see him go to a place where he could be theoretically making a bigger impact, but for Jacksonville's sake, this is a great pick. He could do a similar job to what Jamal Agnew does, but he's bigger. So we love that pick. And then the only other one really I want to mention is Derek Parrish in the round 7. He was getting a lot of buzz late. Looked at him, really liked his athleticism, liked his effort. He's actually not a bad pass rusher, but his arms are all time short. They're in the 1 percentile. So he almost seems like he should convert to linebacker, but with everyone they just drafted, it's a little bit of a weird fit. But for the 7th round, might as well kick the tires on someone like Parrish with upside.